Hi guys, welcome back to this weekly outlook. Let's get started. So, starting with the Euro UD, here we have a potential setup to go long, which is more of a swing trade, longer term trade. I basically place my entry at this H4 rejection on my level. This is the level I had, and we also have a fib zone in between, so definitely a high probability setup, as well as other confluences such as clear uptrend, clean break of the most recent zone, and it's overall a pretty solid rejection here. You can see on the daily we had a very strong rejection. So this is a very high, yeah, quite a high probability setup on the swing side on Euro AUD. And you can still consider entering here, maybe at market open in a few hours. Of course, wait for spreads to calm down before entering. Your CHF, this was a trade shared on the last weekly outlook. So today is more of a recap. We don't have too many setups, but we also review the last weekly outlook trades. So here we had an inverse head and shoulder setup going on, but price didn't reject the zone. It just broke through the zone without any major, without any rejection. So it just went straight down on this neckline. It still respected the structure because it didn't go below the slow here, and now it's keeping to go upwards. So it still respected analysis in some way, but it didn't. The zone wasn't respected, so I didn't have any trade on this one. Euro GBP trade explained on the last weekly outlook. This was unfortunately a very tight stop loss. Um, I got out with a few pips. We had stopped out by a very few pips here. My entry it was a clear downtrend structure, lower lows, lower highs. We had a clean break of the most recent zone. We had price breaking below the previous lows. Uh, Strong and clean break. We also had the fib zone here, and we had a very clear rejection, which was this bearish engulfing candle um, that rejected you with a very strong wick. So yeah, unfortunately, this overnight went to the stop loss and then started dropping again. And yeah, that's okay. It's part of the game. Euro JPY, it's a potential trade. This is a potential trade to a short. Let's say this is a head and shoulders setup, very clear head and shoulders on the H4 time frame. So this is quite long term. And right shoulder. You could consider this trade to a short. Price already had a rejection here. On lower time frames, you can see the bearish engulfing candle, H1 bearish engulfing candle. So yeah, potential trade will be set up to a short. You can be conservative and target this level of support. So that could be a way to consider this trade. Or you could just hold all the way down here. Uh, yeah, a more conservative way will be targeting this low here, which is very high probability. Euro USD waiting for a retracement to go long. So same setups explained last week. Clear uptrend structure with highs and higher lows. We have price breaking with a very fast momentum with clean break on the most recent zone. The zone lies in between the fib, so it's a good signal. And now I'm just waiting for this pullback to complete to potentially take a trade to go long from this zone, and that will be a potential nice trade. Of course, I will only enter if we have a rejection on that zone. GBP AUD, this was a trade from last week, very successful. Uh, Pretty simple and straightforward. Breaker retest to go short. Uh, you can see the H4, we had a very strong momentum. This was also an important level of support and resistance, which was broken to the downside. So it was quite a high probability trade. Price retested the level, as you can see, tested the level, and this was the entry indication to go short. We had a very clear bearish engulfing candle, so this was enough to enter a trade to go short. Uh, Targeting the lower end of the range. Sometimes here, if you had the target at the low, maybe with the spread, it would have been a bit difficult to be closed. But if you were monitoring this trade, you can close manually if you monitor the trade and you see such a rejection very close to the target. At this point, you will just close the trade here with a slightly lower profit, but it's better. It's the wisest choice when you have the trade running and you see the move happening. So when you see this rejection and price just barely hit the target, you can close earlier in this specific case. GBP this is still the same as the last weekly outlook. It's a swing trade to go short in line with the downtrend. So we have this most recent zone on the daily time frame, waiting for this pullback. As soon as price touches that zone and pulls back here, there will be a potential trade to go short. GBP JPY, this was covered on the last weekly outlook. We had a clear rejection. It's not exactly at its zone, but it still maintained this structure here. Structure was maintained long, and price gave a very strong rejection, coming back to where we had our level. So this was a very clear confirmation. We had bullish engulfing candle on all time frames on the H4, H2, and H1 time frame. They all had bullish engulfing candle, so it was quite easy to enter long here, targeting the high, or you could have closed here at market before market closed. So that's basically where I closed the trade. I closed earlier than the target because I didn't want to hold over the weekend and get charged the swap commission for holding the trade over the weekend. And also, it didn't make sense to be exposed to the risk of holding the trade, considering we were very close to the target. GBP and ZD, we didn't trade this one here because I'm still waiting for the retracement. I already told you guys I'm looking for price to come back to this zone and potentially look for a trade to go short on GBP and ZD. Although, yeah, it did respect um, the predicted pullback. So I'm just needs to pull back a little bit more before considering any trade in this case. GBP USD, this was another trade from the last weekly outlook. This unfortunately was a break-even stop, as we had a price rejecting exactly from the zone I had marked up, as you can see. We had strong rejection with a strong weak bullish engulfing candle. You entered here, so price reached 1.1.2. I didn't take any partials, but I did move the stop loss to break even. So I ended up getting out at break even in this specific case. USD CHF, this is another trade we are waiting for. It's more of a swing, H4 time frame. You can see this is a key level, broken with a very strong momentum, and this is the slow retracement. So that's a very high chance that price will react from here. So I'm just looking for price to pull back and potentially reject the area. for a trade setup to go short, and this will be a target. This neckline here, this level here, will be a potential target for trade to go short. USD this was covered on the last weekly outlook. This is an exotic pair, so I don't take this. I didn't take this trade. I don't trade USD SGD. I just put it here for, say, information purposes. This was a very clear breaker retest trade covered last Monday or last Sunday on Zoom, here on Zoom. We had a strong clean break, slow retracement, very strong rejection on the 61.8 and on the key level. So this could have been a potential trade if you trade this pair, of course. AUDCHF. I'm still waiting for the pullback all the way up here to the zone. If price pulls back here, I'll be looking for a trade to go short. On the other hand, there's a very high chance that price will drop from here after the testing the 61.8. So if price starts forming a bearish structure, then I'll be considering trades to go short on the lower time frame. So here price already made a first break, making this sort of head and shoulders formation. If price retests here and breaks below this zone, there's a potential for a trade to go short, and this will be a potential trade I'll be looking for. But yeah, we cannot make any prediction now. We only have to wait and see what happens and react based on how the market moves. Um, so for now, we'll just wait. SPX 500, this level still stays valid for a trade to go long if you have a pullback, of course. Same thing goes for Nasdaq, where you have this level here, which was broken with a very fast momentum, a very fast candle, which is always a good signal for a break retest. So here we have 61.8 in line with the key level, and we also have a, yeah, of course, the strong break and a slower retracement. So if price pulls back to this, then I'll be looking for this to a short, to a long. US oil, we have a potential trade to go short. This is again under swing trade, still already explained on the last weekly outlook. We have all the confluences, we have the fib, we have the level, we have the trend, we have the strong clean break, the slower retracement. So everything's lined up for this trade to go short. If price pulls back here, I'll be looking for a trade confirmation on the daily time frame and the H4 time frame. Yeah, silver. I didn't take this trade, but this was covered on the last weekly outlook. I mean, not only on the last weekly outlook, but also on two outlooks, like the last one, also the one before the last one. So here we had a rejection on our key area. Price rejected and started creating bearish engulfing candles on lower time frames, as you can see on the H1. So this was a potential trade to go short. If you took it, great. You could have also set the target here at the end of the, let's say, of this wing, also on a key area, like key support and resistance area. So it all depends. This would have been a very low risk reward ratio. You could have entered like this, for example, but I'm more conservative, so this is my example with a bit of a wider stop loss and take profit. Gold, the setup still the same. It didn't get to the target with the stop loss to break even. So I'm quite bullish on gold, and I do see the chance of price making a new all-time high from this trade. So yeah, that's pretty much all the setups I wanted to cover on this weekly outlook. If you want the recording of this session, send me a message on Discord and I'll send it to you because at the moment I don't have access to the YouTube channel and I cannot upload it. But I can send it to you through my YouTube channel. I mean, I don't have access to this Excelsior Hub channel, but I do have access to my channel, so I can upload it on there on my channel. And if you message me on Discord, I can send the recording to you through the unlisted YouTube link through the YouTube video. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. I hope this was helpful, guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Discord. I'll be happy to help. And I'll talk to you guys on the next weekly outlook. Bye bye.